Hello, everybody. Welcome to Introduction to Go Teams. While we're waiting for everybody to gather, I'm going to sing a song for you. It's called A Climate Bill. Oh, but it's very exciting when you are a citizen lobbyist, waiting for your first meeting on the Hill, and you're sitting on a small leather chair with your eyes down on your iPad, terrified that you'll be ignored. And suddenly you see two black shoes, a dark suit coat, a face, and it speaks. I've just been introduced, but I feel I know you well. 'Cause when this Congress started, I fell under your spell. So many other lobbyists are selling oil and arms, but you were somehow different. I was taken by your charms. Now I'm a bill, bum, bum, bum. I'm a written product of political will, a climate bill. I'm the reason you came to Capitol Hill. On the chance when the last senators have voted aye, will we dance the floor together? In your cap we'll place a feather to celebrate your newfound skill. With the clear understanding that the people made this happen, it's a bill. I'm a bill, climate bill. Yeah, okay, let's get started. My name is Bruce Hagan. I've been a CCL volunteer since 2012. I co-founded and co-led the Santa Rosa chapter and the Business Climate Leaders Action Team. Since Earth Day 1970, I've been a community and campus environmental organizer and professionally for several decades, a technology, sustainability, and clean energy program manager. And I worked for 3 years on Capitol Hill as an energy aide to a US Senator. And now I'm a grandpa and loving it. So this presentation is not a complete guide to Go Teams. It's really just a teaser to get you interested in starting or joining a Grass Tops Outreach Go Team in your state or chapter. We're going to talk about what it is, how it works, and how you get involved, and the importance of Grass Tops. Okay, so basically, it is a systematic method for doing Grass Tops outreach. It's effective. We get the results we seek. It's efficient. We get them with the least amount of work and enjoyable with the most amount of fun. It's built on the strong foundation of citizens, climate lobby, and education, and the existing Grass Tops engagement program in chapters. And from there, we package and add 4 things: teaming, techniques, mentoring, and networking. We'll start off with teaming. What makes a successful team? They have good players, but that's not enough. When I played basketball in high school for one of the best coaches in the country, who happened to be my dad, we were all amateurs and volunteers. What we lacked in raw talent and height, we made up in other ways. And what were those ways? Well, we had shared values, just like CCL's core values. We valued the relationships with each other, and in the case of the Go Teams, with our influencers. We celebrated the growth of our personal power, expanding our comfort zone, and we acted with integrity and professionalism. And with Go Teams, it's a way to convince that these people, these influencers, that we are people that can be trusted. We have common goals. What are we going to do and when are we going to do it? Specific things like we want to have 20 prospects evaluated and researched in a month. And in 2 months, we want to have meetings with 10 of them. And in 4 months, we want to get commitments to do advocacy from half of those. And we're organized. We have a few basic rules and roles. I'd like to talk about roles a bit here, because there are many things that can happen on a team. Not one person does everything, and you don't have to do things you don't like or you're not good at. You split it up just like a basketball team would. So In addition to the leader that keeps things moving, you have researchers who are going to determine what moves our influencers, what appreciations can we give them. Connectors are folks who've got a lot of connections, but just don't have time to do a lot of meetings and outreach stuff, but they can do introductions, and that's critical. We need to cultivate those within our chapters. Outreachers are folks that make the letters, write the letters, make the calls, go to the meetings. They're people who are the delegates in the Grasstops engagement tracker. They own the relationship with that particular influencer. And a data manager is someone that just uses the tools well in Google and in Get and can keep track of things and keep everybody on the same page. Last of all, we have support from volunteers like myself with the business climate leaders, your group leader and your liaison, particularly when you're developing strategies, and CCL staff. And winning teams have fun. You may recognize these guys. They're from my home pro team. And not only are they talented, but they are famously unselfish, and they're clearly having a good time out there. So let's talk a bit about the techniques. Again, very high level sampling here, but if you look at techniques, there's three groups: identifying and prioritizing, contacting prospects to get them to a meeting, and engaging them in lobbying for our bill. Here's one of the techniques we use for identifying and prioritizing, and it's called the Ali rating: access, likelihood to act, and impact. And you can use these considerations with every potential prospect to figure out if they're going to be a priority one, meaning, excuse me, meaning that we're going to start working on them as soon as this meeting is over, or a priority two is they will become a priority one when we run out of priority ones or can expand our capability. Or priority threes are people that are maybe they're super influential, but we don't think we're going to get them until something big happens. But we keep them on the list. We just don't look at them every week. So this is a pretty handy method, and this is from a prospect list that we use to do day-to-day management of our prospects. We use the GET for recording and making sure we're not conflicting with somebody else. And then when we actually get some form of endorsement or recognition that we can put in that system. Okay. And the second part of ICE is contact. Writing emails is great. It's good when you already know somebody who can pick up the phone. We were trying to get a meeting with Monsanto for a long time. And finally, somebody found this form on their website. They filled it out and said, we'd like to talk to you about bipartisan climate solutions. And we got a call back from them in a day or two. And it's because they were asking for our input. We weren't unsolicited advice. So this is a good one you can always try. SunPower just happened to be a case where oh gosh, it was the brother of the sister of the group leaders, something or another, that finally got through to the person I had been trying to reach. And she was very apologetic when we finally got a meeting. She said, I'm just super busy and I have to triage my email. So things like that are important to get that first meeting. Now, once you get the first meeting, what are you going to do for engagement? And we've got a bunch of things that we found helpful. We've collaborated with the other action teams to assemble strategies and toolkits for the most receptive businesses and sectors. For instance, breweries. You can see we've got this Brewers Climate Declaration. It's a great place to start if you like beer or beer drinkers. But we've also found that schools and hospitals and solar installers are good places to begin because they're fairly accessible, a high likelihood, and they can be significant employers in the community. So low-hanging fruit. Okay, so lots of information available through the BCL Resources website. This augments and really kind of curates and collates information specifically about Grasstops outreach. The link to this is on the community homepage for BCL, but you might want to write it down, pause the video. So next is mentoring. And this is the person-to-person work that we do with emergent GO teams or existing GO teams, kind of pre-project consulting. We do kickoff meeting facilitation. We like to get on the recurring phone calls, not only to, give advice and help solve problems, but to get ideas from you that we can share with other teams. And we like our tech tools. So whenever we can, we'll help you out with Google or Zoom or Doodle or any of that sort of stuff. How about networking? So BCL is more than just Go Teams. We have a steering committee and we have people who work on events. But most significantly for you, we have these sector teams that make connections with large Fortune 1000 businesses and trade groups and business-oriented climate NGOs. And through those connections, we can provide introductions and warm leads to your local firms or branch offices or factories. It's all about who you know and who you can introduce your colleagues to. So one great example of this is we started off with Silicon Valley Leadership Group a couple of years ago, and they are doing a convening to decide how they're going to do advocacy for federal carbon pricing legislation, if and how. Big names in there, but we took advantage of the connection we made with some of these people, particularly Hewlett Packard, when we launched, our Go Team project in Idaho, pilot project a couple of years ago. Hewlett Packard had a big business office in Boise, and Cliff Bar had a major state-of-the-art bakery up there. So the local people from Cliff and HP joined our Go Team. Not only did they sign the letter to their member of Congress, Mike Simpson, but they also helped us recruit other businesses for advocacy. They became like anchor tenants. So that's just another way that we can do the engagement part, help you be more effective and efficient and happy as well. So next steps for you really, be sure you've joined the BCL action team in community. Review this Go Team page. You'll find some stuff that'll help you just get going right away. And if you are in one of these lock-in states, 6 states that have high leverage, particularly in the Senate that we're focusing our efforts on, you should contact your local Go Team leader, or if you don't know who that is or you don't have one, contact your state coordinator. Now, if we were live, we would have time for questions, but since this is canned, if you do have any questions, you can get in touch with us. Go to the community site and you can pose your questions there. Or if you happen to know my email or phone number, give that a try. So thanks a lot. It's been a real pleasure. And on behalf of my beloved granddaughter, I wish you all well, and we'll see you soon, if not in June.